What is going on, Alpha Hunters? It's a very magnificent Monday. Hopefully, you had a very magnificent weekend because it was a magnificent weekend. I mean, every weekend's magnificent, right? We are seeing some interesting activity kind of start off the week. We're going to take a look at the SPY cues, obviously, to start out. You can see the SPY had a very decent gap up today. Not totally shocked. I mean, people are very optimistic going into tech earnings as well. They always are. I mean, people are always optimistic about going into tech earnings. We gapped up 0.6% there on the market today to start out the week. You can see we had a very nice little pullback there to kind of start the day, first 30 minutes or so. And then we kind of ran a little bit bullish there for about 45 minutes or so. Really even up to about this high, maybe about 30 minutes. And then kind of was running out of gas. You can see as we were not breaking the very initial morning high of the day. So yeah, it was kind of a interesting day so far, but we'll see. As far as the cues, very much the same kind of pattern that we were seeing there on the SPY, but a little bit more extremes. We had a little bit more of a gap up, 0.65% of a gap up. Pulled back pretty good amount there in the first 20 minutes or so. Nice little run as well over the past, then over the next like hour or so, and then past like 20 minutes, nice little roll over here. Currently up 0.3%, while the SPY is up 0.45%. So seeing a little bit of that intraday underperformance there on the Qs with the higher gap up, and currently underperforming the SPY so far on the day. Seeing some pretty good flows into the IWM. Nice. Look at this. 0.85% gap up there. And it is currently at 0.16%. So about half of today's performance has come from the gap up roughly. And then the other half has come from, intraday price action so far. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Nice little run there. First 20 minutes. Very strong. Okay, DIA, nice gap up here. Currently up 0.7%. Kind of a little bit more strength here. Nice little run there to start the day. First 20 minutes, quick pullback. It looks like it did take out the morning high of the first 20 minutes or so, about 15 minutes ago. But it is pulling back a little bit here. RSP, look at this little sideways kind of price action here on the intraday. Little flag pattern, little pennant pattern here. You could definitely take that either way, but I kind of like that. It's not bad. Getting supported by that 10 EMA on a 5-minute time frame as it's coming up throughout the day. RSP not looking too bad. So there you go, RSP, nice little gap up today. Still just kind of in this range that it was kind of in the middle part of last week. For a lot of it, obviously Friday, nice little gap up there on Friday and sold down. DIA kind of bouncing right into the moving averages again on a gap up today. Okay. IWM, nice gap up, clearing through the moving averages. Nice little bounce there today. Okay. Looking pretty good there. Qs. Okay. Another gap up. I mean, it's 3 trading days in a row where we've had gap ups. Thursday, Friday, and today. Obviously, people are ready for tech earnings. SPY also getting that gap up today. So, okay. There you go. It's a quick look, rundown of the big markets kind of going on. Oh, wow. VIX, nice little gap down. Okay. So, we got a little bit of a gap down on the VIX to start out the week. Not too often does that happen, but hey, there you go. Nice little quick little gap down. All right. See how that kind of goes as the week goes on. Dollar, still kind of just hanging out here on the dollar. Did have a little bit of a wick. Took out last week's high very briefly. Let me bring up the hourly. Yeah, I mean it looks like we took out last week's high just ever so slightly. Overnight, basically around midnight or so. So there you go. Dollar snagged last week's high already. Probably just still consolidates sideways and then maybe pushes higher later on. GLD Gold Trust kind of hanging out still, just hanging out, doing his thing, waiting for the moving averages to come up and catch up. So there you go. Yields, gap up on yields to start the week. That doesn't happen too often. The yields, nice little gap up there. Probably the more significant part about that gap is it's right above last week. Not a huge gap, but man, it gapped up just above last week. Had a little bit of a pullback early morning, and then here over the past 2 hours or so, it's been running back higher there on the yield side. Interesting. As far as the 10 and 2 inversion, just kind of still hanging out, doing its thing. HYG, high yield corporate bonds. Yep, retested into this 10 and 20 area. Moving average could be rather interesting spot to possibly look to go bearish. The reason why I say that is if this is just the retest into these levels and we do roll over, I mean, it's a really good spot. I mean, obviously, we're topping out at these levels, and you could probably do it with a stop loss above this little high that we had back over here, just for your stop loss calculation. But if we get back above like 79.60 or something like that, I'd probably just close it out and look for another spot. But not a bad spot. You can already, I mean, you can really see that we're having a hard time getting through that level. Looking at 15-minute on an intraday there. LQD, a little bit of gap up, trade down, basically flat right now from Friday's close. Especially with the gap up that we saw in yields today. At least on the 10-year yield might be, might be moving higher, which TLT bonds probably going to be going lower. So TLT, you can see getting back down towards the lows of last week from last Wednesday. Okay, we have some rather interesting gap here on energies. My goodness, they got absolutely shellacked there for a gap down to start the week. I mean, that is huge. So energies definitely underperforming the most from that gap down. So take a look at that. Tech underperforming. Okay, interesting. Communications underperforming, healthcare underperforming, staples, industrials kind of in line with the market there. Real estate's outperforming. Okay, that's an interesting one with the yields being up. Materials, financials, discretionaries, and utilities at the higher end of the day. Now, if we take out that huge gap up, you can see energies have climbed steadily throughout the day. So you got utilities also outperforming, materials, financials, discretionaries all outperforming there. Staples, healthcare getting a little bit of an outperformance. Industrials kind of in line with the market there. Real estate, slight underperformance currently for the intraday. Tech underperforming intraday. And communications underperforming intraday. A little bit of a drop here, communications over the past 10 minutes or so, about 10 minutes ago. So be curious to see maybe if that was Meta or if that was Alphabet. So yeah, as far as energies and what's going on there, we do not have a contract roll, and we have a huge gap down here. So yeah, that would be something might be worth looking at for you crude or commodity trading peeps, but gasoline also got hit with a pretty good gap down trade lower there as well. Heating oil, same thing. So they all got beat down. Oil plunges as Israel limits Iran strike. All right, I wanted to take a look at the CME Fed Watch tool. We will be having FOMC meeting not this week, but next week, November 7th. So yeah, next Wednesday, about in a week and a half. Right now, the market is basically telling you we're going to get at least a quarter point cut. So there you go. At least a quarter point cut coming next week. I just want to kind of quickly eyeball this. And then even in December, it seems like the market's expecting at least another cut of at least 25 basis points. So there you go. Just wanted to quickly look at that.